Hello, my name is Shitiz Srivastava and this is my video blog. Today I am with Adil Afsar, and Adil sir has recently done a film called Khaali Peeli, which you might be aware of. And he has done a series of work, a lot of work in MTV. He has done a lot of shows. He has done a lot of ad films. And he's now emerging to be one of the topmost DOPs in the industry, in Hindi film industry. So welcome to my channel.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
How are you?
Very good. Very good. All good. How are you?
I'm fine. आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल दैट यू केम टू माय चैनल. मैंने आपसे हफ्ते 2 हफ्ते मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करता रहा कि भैया आप मेरे को टाइम दे दो थोड़ा सा. फाइनली यू गेव मी टाइम. फाइनली यू गॉट फ्री.
No, I'm so sorry. I could reply any earlier. I was just really caught up with some family stuff. So the moment I saw them, I find it really rude. I should be replying. So I kept a reminder because at times what happens, you miss the messages.
हाँ.
So
You intend to reply पर हाँ कि करता हूँ, बाद में रिप्लाई करता हूँ. अच्छा, आपसे जस्ट पहले मैं एक्चुअली इंटरव्यू ले रहा था दुर्गा जी का. मैंने उनसे कहा कि दुर्गा सर मैं अभी इसके बाद ले रहा हूँ आदिल जी का इंटरव्यू. तो ही सेड कि अरे हम दोनों तो खाली पीली में साथ में थे. ही इज माय फ्रेंड, ही इज माय गुड फ्रेंड एंड वी वर्क टुगेदर अ लॉट. मैंने कहा अच्छा. मैंने बताता हूँ उनको कि ऐसा आपका इंटरव्यू लिया था. तो आज मैं खाली पीली के डीओपी और प्रोडक्शन डिजाइनर दोनों के इंटरव्यू दिए मैंने. तो आई एम वेरी लकी इन दैट सेंस. एनीवेज, आप मुझे बताओ आपका कैसे जर्नी शुरू हुआ फिल्म लाइन में. कैसे, कहां से शुरुआत हुई, कहां से कीड़े लगे आपको?
So basically the journey was, to be honest, I would say not planned initially. So basically I come from a family of photographers. So my father, so my father is a photographer and my grandfather was a photographer, but he was my grandfather was a hobby photographer. So it was not a profession. So he started photography with those big plate cameras. So he has all those, I have those equipments with me. So the twin lens reflex cameras and all everything. So it was probably in the subconscious that I was in a sort of creative family. So like my father is a photographer, my Bade Papa is a photographer, my grandfather was a photographer. But to be honest, I never thought that I'll take
ये तो डीडीएलजे में से शाहरुख खान के साथ हुआ था ना. ये तुम्हारे दादाजी यही करते थे. सब एक ही जैसा. बेटा तुम्हें भी टॉप करना है.
So but to be honest, मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था that I'll become a cinematographer or a photographer. I was a commerce student till 12th. So I studied commerce and I was a very good student. I was not a bad student. So I did well.
ये एक्सपेक्ट करना पड़ता है क्योंकि कॉमर्स नॉर्मली उनको मिलता है जो वीक स्टूडेंट नहीं होते. टीचर बोलता है
एंड प्लस आर्ट्स उनको मिलता है जो फेल हो
जाते हैं.
So I'm
that's why you explained.
So I was a very good student, but I decided to have commerce in class 12. I finished that and I used to draw sketches. I used to draw pencil portraits. So वो मेरी hobby थी. So it was a God gift. So I to be honest never trained anything. So one of my uncle, he's my mamu, so he told me the fact that you should go into the field where your hobby becomes your profession. You'll excel in it. At that point of time, to be honest, I didn't understand. मैं भी 12th commerce के बाद जो है BBS और BBA करना चाहता था उस टाइम पे. बड़े during my time it was very hot selling course कि BBA कर लो या BBS कर लो, मतलब आपकी तो life set हो जाएगी. And I cleared the tests also. Of those.
MBA was the hot thing at that time.
Yes, at that point of time. So he, to be honest, he used to work with All India Radio. He pushed me towards fine arts. He said the fact that you draw and nobody's taught you, so you should go towards fine arts. So journey वहाँ से शुरू हुई.
तो आप basically मुंबई से ही हो?
No, I was born in UP. I've studied in Delhi.
UP में कहाँ?
So class till you know Saharanpur?
Saharanpur, हाँ.
Yes, there's a small town in Saharanpur called Deoband. From there.
हाँ, Deoband. अच्छा, वो तो famous है काफी.
Yeah. Famous. So, but my schooling is from I studied in Roorkee Army School. Roorkee Army School.
वो बाल देख के लग रहा है. You still maintain that army lifestyle.
11th onwards, yeah. So yeah, मतलब not that came. I left that army school. It was one of the most strict school you'll ever see. मतलब बहुत strict school था.
मैंने कहानियां सुनी और कहानियां सुन के डरा भी हूँ.
It was a very very good school, but ask me, मतलब मुझसे पूछो कि वहाँ पे बंक करने का मतलब सकता था आप कोई घोर पाप कर रहे हो.
घोर पाप कर रहे हो.
So, so then I decided to move to Delhi. I moved to Delhi. I went to Jamia. I moved to
Jamia, you
fine
did
arts.
fine arts. हाँ.
Fine arts. I did BFA from Jamia. So when I was studying fine arts, I started in the first year तो ऐसे ही time pass करा because I thought arts है मतलब, but it was a very technical
क्या ही
arts.
होगा
Yeah,
पढ़ाई में.
क्या ही होगा मतलब usually लोग कहते थे फेल हो गए थे क्या आर्ट्स में चले गए. नहीं फेल नहीं होते भाई, टॉप किया था लेकिन आर्ट्स चूज करा है. So it was a very good degree of 4 years. I finished that, but after first year, from second year onwards, मेरा interest उसमें आने लगा. So basically, उस interest की वजह से curiosity बढ़ती चली गई, and I was
एक्चुअली आर्ट में
specializing in.
इंटरेस्ट था या फिर गर्लफ्रेंड्स बन गई थी वहां पे तो इसलिए अब सब चीजों में इंटरेस्ट आ रहा था. दिल्ली में
Yeah,
जाते
ये
सबसे
तो है.
पहले यही होता है.
I must tell you one thing: the ratio of the male to female ratio in fine arts college, at least my college, was 70s to 30. 30% बच्चे लड़के होते थे. Yeah. So we were the cool cats.
Cool life जी रहे थे.
So luckily it was in a university. So fine arts was a department at that point. Now it's become faculty. जब मैं पढ़ता था department था तो it was one of the hottest department in fine arts. Like people used to say अरे यार तुम्हारी तो ऐश है.
बाहर से बच्चे आगे बैच में देख रहे हैं. अच्छा कौन कौन निकल रहा है.
So खैर फाइन आर्ट्स पढ़ा.
I remember दिल्ली का उस टाइम कल्चर बहुत अच्छा था. मतलब वो नेरुलाज खुला होता था, उधर कुछ और चल रहा है, उधर कुछ और चल रहा है. मैकडॉनल्ड्स में लोग मैकडॉनल्ड्स जाओ तो बच्चे गिटार बजा रहे हैं. वो साउथ कैंपस सब बहुत बढ़िया था उस टाइम पे.
बहुत अच्छा था. So खैर फाइन आर्ट्स पढ़ा. फाइन आर्ट्स पढ़ने के बाद काफी इंटरेस्ट आया. So I actually specialize in graphic designing and advertising. So BFA applied art was my specialization. So in applied art, I just started loving the campaigns. So we used to make social campaigns, print social campaigns, and product social campaigns. So honestly speaking, till that time, I didn't have a filmy background per se. Like जैसे सब लोग घर में normal फिल्में देखते हैं कि आप लोग ने आपने सारी फिल्में देखी हैं, अमिताभ बच्चन की भी देखी हैं और मिथुन चक्रवर्ती की भी देखी हैं और अमोल पालेकर की भी देखी हैं. जो घर वाले देख रहे हैं वो आप लोग देख रहे हैं. So I was not from a cinema background per se. मतलब there was no one in cinema. But when I finished fine arts, I developed this interest towards ad filmmaking, motion picture ad filmmaking. क्योंकि fine arts पढ़ा था, मैंने मुझे motion picture ads बनाने हैं. So for that, there was a very good institute in Jamia called MCRC, Mass Communication Research Center. It's one of the top in the country. Yeah. So after that, I decided to do that, and thinking the fact that I'll make ads. So there was the intention.
You wanted to go into advertising now.
Yeah, because exposure ही उतना था. Honestly speaking, till fine arts also, cinematic exposure नहीं था. I had not seen Satyajit Ray, I had not seen Kurosawa, Tarkovsky, nothing. So basic DDLJ देखता था मैं. So simple as that. DDLJ देखता. So simple था. तो खैर वो करने के बाद ये हुआ.
But advertising is a huge good profession. मतलब उसमें पैसा भी बहुत है और cool life.
It's a very good profession. It was very honestly speaking, at that point of time, it was very creative because at that point of time, computer was just taking over. So you need to do a lot of stuff with your hand also. So the skill set was still there. Like if you are making something, like in college, we have done stuff with hand. So if you have made a wrong move in a full,
then you have to do it all over again.
You have to do it all over again. Like if you have no way to turn back.
Illustrator नहीं था.
Illustrator नहीं था.
Undo कर लिया आपने.
Corel शुरू हो रहा था. So we were actually the first people who were trying to get a hang of it. So it was not common. Computer नहीं होती थी घर में, हमारे पास नहीं था. So I remember the fact that when I came in second year fine arts, तब मुझे वो Celeron computer और वो भी assemble करा था.
जिसको on करके आप खाना खा के वापस जाओगे तब वो on होता था.
और वो भी एक दोस्त को पकड़ के खुद असेंबल करवाया था क्योंकि सस्ता पड़ता था. नेहरू प्लेस से सामान लाके हार्ड डिस्क अलग से लेके रैम अलग लेके
उसका अलग एक्साइटमेंट होता था.
सो वो करके जर्नी शुरू हुई. देन आई मूव टू एमसीआरसी. लकीली पढ़ाई लिखाई में एज आई सेड के ठीक ठाक थे. फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में टेस्ट भी क्लियर कर लिया. हालांकि काफी डिफिकल्ट टेस्ट हुआ करता था. मतलब 3-4 लेवल्स पे टेस्ट होता था. एक इंटरव्यू होता था. उससे पहले 3 रिटन टेस्ट होते थे. मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें होती थी. एक पोर्टफोलियो होता था. तो somehow वो first attempt में clear हो गया. Then I moved to MCRC. I started studying cinema. Then my horizons opened up, honestly. So basically to the level that things that I had not seen because I was not from a film family or nobody had studied cinema officially in the family. That opened up. That that avenue opened up. So then I realized that there's way more to filmmaking than just ad filmmaking. So वहां से इंट्रोडक्शन टू सिनेमा शुरू हुआ. एंड जब आप पहुंचते हैं सिनेमा स्कूल में तो बहुत सारे बच्चे ना बड़ी तैयारी करके आए हुए होते हैं. और आप पहुंच गए हैं बट यू आर नॉट सिनेमा लिटरेट. तो
आपने तो एक्साइटमेंट में ले लिया एडमिशन.
अब फिल्म एप्रिसिएशन की क्लास में टीचर ने पूछा व्हिच इज योर फेवरेट फिल्म. बच्चे बोले मेरी फेवरेट फिल्म रॉशमोन. हमने तो नाम भी नहीं सुना था. कोई बोल रहा है
ईरानियन फिल्म में, फ्रेंच फिल्म में.
हु इज योर फेवरेट डायरेक्टर? मकमल बफ, अब्बास कियारोस्तामी. यू डोंट नो. कट टू आपके पास सवाल आता है.
लैंग्वेज में बात कर रहा है आदमी. मकमल बफ.
Yeah, so then you were asked which film do you like? I said DDLJ. कट तो सब लोगों ने टर्न करके मेरी तरफ देखा. कहाँ से आ गया मैं? ये कौन है? तो खैर, but then slowly it opened up. Now I can very proudly say that if not more, I've seen so many films in international cinema. So I made a promise to myself when I was in film school कि मैं कम से कम एक फिल्म हर रोज देखूंगा जो मैंने कभी जिंदगी में नहीं देखी है. So there was a time when I had a collection of some 4,000, 5,000 films.
DVDs.
DVD जैसे भी मिलता था उस टाइम पे. CDs, DVDs कहीं से कॉपी कर लिया, कुछ कर लिया. So that's how I started, watching cinema, understanding cinema.
So basically at that time you started living cinema.
Yes. So एक तो वो बिगनिंग में जो लगता था कि क्लास में बैठ के आप सोच रहे हैं क्या क्या देखा हुआ इन्होंने यार. हमने तो सिर्फ वतन के रखवाले देखी हुई है.
मिथुन की गोविंदा की पिक्चर देखी है.
हमने तो आंखें देखी हुई है कि क्या बातें कर रहे हैं. तो खैर उस तक करके इंट्रोडक्शन शुरू हुआ सिनेमा से. एंड आई फेल इन लव विद सिनेमा टू बी ऑनेस्ट. मतलब देन आर्ट्स बैकग्राउंड तो थी तो उसमें तो कोई वो नहीं था, हिकअप्स नहीं थे कि मतलब आई वाज कमिंग after a full-fledged 4 years degree of fine arts. So in terms of composition, theory of light, theory of color, it was very, very clear. So one aspect which was missing, which was the storytelling of cinema, which I had not touched. I had only reached up till ad filmmaking, or rather ad campaigns, like telling a story through a picture in a campaign or a design. So that got translated into my love for cinema. So that's how I really started enjoying it, and I just
decided that
loved
you
it
were
so
to
much.
Career of it.
Yes, so I just finished my film school. So luckily, my film school was they never used to like my film school is a filmmaking course. Usually at that time लोगों ने बोला कि FTI का भी करो. तो FTI I didn't even fill the form SRFTI because they were asking me in the form itself के which trade you want to take. You want to take cinematography, direction, editing. मैंने कहा मुझे नहीं मालूम है. I don't know right now what I want to do. I want to understand filmmaking. So Jamia was the course which is offering me filmmaking.
Filmmaking. अच्छा उसमें सब सिखाएंगे आपको.
Yeah. So I joined filmmaking and I enjoyed everything. I directed over there. I edited, did sound, did
so that was also a graduation course or post graduation?
It's a master's degree.
Master's degree.
It's a MA master. Yeah, it's a proper master's degree. So वो खत्म करने के बाद then I decided I want to go towards cinematography. I want to tell stories through images because बहुत लंबा जर्नी था from portraits. उस जमाने में मैं शाहरुख खान का बड़ा भयंकर फैन था तो मैं शाहरुख खान के पोर्ट्रेट्स बनाया करता था.
अब नहीं रहे?
अब भी हूँ.
अच्छा मैं आपको बता दूं वैसे आई एम अ ह्यूज फैन ऑफ शाहरुख खान.
So am I.
ह्यूज फैन. मतलब मैं आपने बोला ना DDLJ मैं तो डिफेंड कर देता हूँ मतलब लोगों को अगर किसी ने तो बात नहीं यार मैंने को इंडियन फिल्म बहुत पसंद है. हाँ anyway.
And it's such a coincidence that I started my career of filmmaking from Yash Raj. My first 3 films are with Yash Raj. अच्छा सही है.
So
I've not shot a film with Shah Rukh Khan, but I would love to shoot it. But I've shot a lot of commercials, a lot of. So I remember my first day of shoot with Shah Rukh Khan. I was with MTV. So khair, I finished film school. After film school, I didn't want to join anything in Delhi. I used to have a silver color bike, Honda Splendor. तो फुल फिल्मी स्टाइल में I don't want to take any help from my parents. आपने जो करना था वो कर दिया. अब हम खुद करेंगे. It's my decision to go to Bombay because in Delhi there were lots of since I finished in the top 10 students of the class in film school. So campus placement एक चीज होती थी हमारे टाइम जो फर्स्ट टाइम शुरू हुई थी तो बहुत सारी जगह campus placement हो गया. But I didn't want to do that because I wanted to go to filmmaking. So I sold off a bike which was a Hero Honda Splendor which I Mother gifted to me. I sold it off for literally 15,000 rupees and came to Bombay. It's a very filmy story, but that's what exactly happened. So with 15,000 bucks in my pocket, I came to Bombay with zero contacts in filmmaking. 3 नंबर लेके आया था, जो कौन सी था, उन्होंने काफी अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स नहीं दिया था.
नहीं, यही होता सबके साथ. आप उम्मीदें लेके आते हो, आप फोन मिलाओगे, सामने वाला कहेगा आ जाओ, पर ऐसा नहीं होता है. We'll meet next week or we'll meet next month. I'm busy right now.
तो खैर फिर बॉम्बे आना हुआ, एंड देन बॉम्बे में आके फिर जर्नी शुरू हुई फिल्म मेकिंग.
बॉम्बे में आप you know anyone where you stayed, और आपने फिर होटल लिया या वो वैसा किया?
So basically in Bombay when I came, मेरी एक मासी है, so she was there, so I stayed with her. So अब लेकिन क्या था कि मतलब because you are staying in Bombay, you know that you have 15,000 bucks in your pocket, and that's all you have to survive. तो जो the first 1.5 year was full of struggles. मतलब I would say कि मतलब बहुत पापड़ बेलने पड़े. जहाँ ऑटो से जाना चाहिए वहाँ बस से जा रहे थे, जहाँ बस से जाना चाहिए था वहाँ पैदल जा रहे थे.
और दूसरे घर में when you are not paying ना, और मुंबई में बाकी जगह नहीं लगता ऐसा, पर मुंबई when you are not paying anything or rent or food, तो आप जब खाना भी खा रहे होते हो ना, तो आपको गिल्ट हो रही होती है. I'm not paying anywhere or anything, I'm still eating food at this place. तो बहुत खराब लगता है वो. Anyways, हाँ.
So खैर
तो एक साल you didn't do any work, you didn't get any work.
No. I did in fact when I reached Bombay, so there is a documentary, very popular documentary filmmaker, Shazia. She is my senior also from MCRC. So she somehow got connected to me by somebody, because she is much senior, like she's I think 3-4 years senior than me. That she was looking for a section of some documentary that she was shooting in Bombay to be shot by someone. So somehow I got connected to her. So that was my first official shoot in Bombay. And I still remember कि मुझे 1,500 रुपए मिले थे, उसके लिए मैं बड़ा खुश था.
कमाई हो गई, बोनी हो गई.
मतलब बोनी हो गई. So that happened.
Which year was this?
This was 2005. I came to Bombay in 2005. October of 2005.
Durga sir बता रहे थे कि you and Durga sir started a career like similar times.
Yes, in MTV. So basically when I did that, जब थोड़ा सा खुल जाता है आदमी को, हाँ यार मतलब कुछ तो हुआ जिंदगी में. उसके बाद then there was an international film which was getting shot called For Real. So मैं बॉम्बे में था और वो फिल्म की शूट चली थी दिल्ली में. It was an international project. So there was a cinematographer from USA called Ruben O'Malley. So he was looking for an assistant, and somehow Christmas say that also reached me. This is this film which is getting shot in Delhi. There's a schedule of some 36 days, and the DOP is very strict. He's fired some 2-3 assistants, and he's looking for a AC. And would you want to join? क्यों नहीं भाई, हम तो पढ़ गए हैं सिनेमा. So I did that film. So that film was fantastic. So that film was very good.
Can you name the DOP who was firing everyone at that time?
Ruben O'Malley. The guy's name was Ruben O'Malley. He was a very chilled out guy, but he was very.
But he was a perfectionist kind of guy.
Yeah, he was particular about the job. So he didn't
want. This is a good thing.
Yeah, he didn't want any mistake. He was shooting on film, 16 mm.
True.
It was an independent film. It was an indie film.
Every frame wasted is money gone.
Yeah. So the director was raising funds, and they both studied in the film school together in US. So it was an important film for both of them. They were starting their career in a professional manner with that film. So वो film करी, and I had a great equation with him. Because एक चीज तो थी जिंदगी में कि जो हमेशा से बिकॉज ऑफ फाइन आर्ट्स और मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ नेचर, वो परफेक्शनिस्ट वाली चीज थी जिंदगी में कि मतलब व्हाटएवर यू डू इट राइट. तो हमारे एक कम्युनिकेशन के टीचर हुआ करते थे, मिस्टर राजीव लोचन. ही वाज द डायरेक्टर ऑफ एनजीएमए. सो वो कहा करते थे कि देखो, अगर आदमी जूते बनाने वाला भी बने ना, तो ऐसा बने कि लोग बोले कि जूते उससे अच्छे कोई नहीं बनाता है. तो that was the
intention
to put it into the brain.
अच्छा, मैं एक चीज पूछना भूल गया कि जब आप निकल के मुंबई आए, then you had a plan कि अच्छा मुझे डायरेक्शन में जाना है, सिनेमेटोग्राफी में जाना है, इसमें जाना है, किसमें जाना है?
I was very clear that I have to go to cinematography because in my film school, I not just my film, I shot 2-3 more films. I helped people to shoot their final products. So I was very clear the fact that I love photography, I love imagery, I love color science, I love composition. So I knew the fact that I want to go to, not that I dislike direction, I love direction. I've done that also. But I wanted to start it with cinematography because I wanted to do something which I've been doing for a long time. In my subconscious, that sketching and everything was there. So that was very clear.
अच्छा.
खैर ये करते करते फिर then I shot something for MTV. And MTV के अंदर ये हुआ कि they like my work.
So MTV connection कैसे मिला? So you completed this film?
I completed this film. I completed this film. Came to Bombay because मुझे तो बॉम्बे में रहना था, तो मैं दिल्ली जाके वो शूट को फिल्म करके वापस आ गया. It was a 36
and then
days
you were again
very
like
good
अब क्या करूँगा?
अब क्या करूँ? बहुत मामूली से पैसे मिले थे उन फिल्मों के लिए, मतलब it's not.
You told me independent film थी.
हाँ, तो जब मैं वापस आया वहाँ से, so MTV was looking for people. So basically they used to do a show called Roadies.
हाँ, Roadies.
Roadies was
Everyone
quite popular.
knows, हाँ.
Everyone knows.
अच्छा, उस टाइम तो शुरू हुआ था 2001-2002 में, हाँ.
So when I was doing it, 2005 was season number 5. Season 5. So that's the first time I shot with MTV. So we went to Thailand, we went to Malaysia. So it was a great experience in terms of. अच्छा, मैं एक चीज बहुत सोच के आया था जिंदगी के अंदर कि मैं like when there's one thing that film school people do usually, they come with a thought process कि मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ फिल्म ही करूँगा. हाँ. I will not do any. I will not touch any other avenue. I will not.
Restrictions लेके आते हैं.
हाँ, I came with an open mind. I say the fact that मुझे ad मिलेगा, मैं ad करूँगा. मुझे TV करने के लिए मिलेगा, but not soaps. Soaps I was very again, but anything which will excite me. So Roadies was a fantastic travel kind of a show.
Actually, it's the right attitude. Right? This is the right attitude. You should be open to things.
Yes. So then I came and did that show, and we were. It was a month-long show, and this is the journey of the first 1.5 years. So 2007 beginning is that when I was shooting that show, because I came in October 2005. So I did that show, and MTV somehow the people who are working with MTV, they are now my closest friends. One of them is my wife now. So they really like my work, and that's how MTV offered me the position.
MTV ने आपको काफी कुछ दिया है, बीवी दिया है, काम दिया है,
काम दिया है. So MTV offered me the position to be in-house, and I joined MTV, and it was this super cool place which was shooting reality shows. It was shooting ads because MTV क्या करता था? For example, if you're say we are shooting Pulsar MTV stunt mania या फिर Sprite फला फला,
so in-house होता था.
वो सब in-house होता था. तो उस शो के अलावा they used to do commercials in-house, which is very cheap, because if a production house is shooting an ad for say 80 lakh rupees, MTV कहता था हम 10 में बना देंगे. हाँ हाँ. क्योंकि DOP
फ्रेंड काम करता था, मुझे पता है.
DOP in-house है, डायरेक्टर in-house है, एडिटर in-house है, सिर्फ ग्रेडिंग के लिए बाहर जाना तो स्टॉक मंगाना. तो उस टाइम हम 60mm पे शूट करा करते थे. हाँ.
तो रोडीज किस पे शूट किया था?
रोडीज वाज शॉट ऑन वीडियो.
कौन सा कैमरा?
PD 150.
अच्छा, उसी पे पूरा शूट किया था.
पूरा शूट, मतलब it was a 5 camera setup. So basically Roadies उस पे शूट होता था. But the good thing about MTV, what I liked about the fact that in my span of 3 years in MTV, I shot music videos and commercials on film. I shot multi-camera setups, up to 50 cameras.
अच्छा.
50 camera setups, yeah. And I shot reality shows on PD, the ENG unit. They're called the ENG unit, in electronic news gathering units. So the exposure was like
immense exposure.
Exposure. And plus the company was so young, and so it was like college after college. So everybody was willing to do experiment. अरे यार reversal film पे shoot करते हैं. Let's do double exposure. Let's do cross processing. All these techniques.
अच्छा, वो independence थी कि आप experiment कर सकते हो.
कर सकते हैं. तो मतलब क्योंकि क्या होता था कि client का बहुत मामूली सा पैसा लगा हुआ होता था. उनको हम show दे रहे हैं MTV का stunt में लिया, उसके साथ हम उनको 5 commercials भी दे रहे हैं.
तो क्या चाहिए उनको?
तो बहुत सस्ते बन रहे हैं. तो it gave us a very good, it gave me at least a lot of exposure, because I was shooting with people, they are now very good names in ad filmmaking. They started their career with MTV, so I was shooting with these people, and I was shooting shows. So it became like it was just a fantastic time. And MTV का average age was 25.
अच्छा.
तो सारे के सारे जवान बच्चे थे हम लोग. हमारे जो GM थे कंपनी के, he was 28. तो मतलब you can imagine.
पर जिस तरह का बिजनेस मैं मॉडल में देख रहा हूँ, मुझे लगता है गुजराती होंगे. एक के साथ 5 ऐड फ्री लेके जाओ.
5 ऐड फ्री. Actually, I think if I'm not wrong, the head of promos was Gujarati. He's a very close friend of mine. Yeah.
So yeah.
So that exposure gave me that experience gave me a lot of exposure and a lot of fun memories. And I found my girlfriend there, my wife now. So she then moved to Channel V. And that's when I got my first chance to shoot a film with YRF. YRF was launching this studio called Y Films, which was the youth division.
Ashish, I guess.
Ashish, yes. So Ashish is also ex-MTV.
Ashish
was the GM.
Yeah. He actually gave the idea of starting Y Films to Adil Chopra.
So it was Ashish's Y Films' first film, Love Ka the End. And then Yash Raj was looking for young blood. And who better than MTV people? So the director was MTV. The DOP was MTV. The editor was MTV. And Ashish is MTV. The head of the company was MTV. So that's how the film journey started with Yash Raj. So
MTV would be like, हमने क्या गलती करी थी, हमारा पूरा film लेके चले गए.
Actually, गलती करी हो गई थी, because there was a merger which MTV was a prestigious channel. Like Channel V and MTV were two, they were brands.
Huge brands.
There was huge brands. So and they were never worried about TRPs क्या होती है या कितना number game में involved थे. They were making prestigious brands like One Tight Slap, धरती के लाल, and
कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता था.
Roadies. So they were prestigious shows. So then there was some merger happened with, I think, TV 18. So it became Viacom 18. So that's when the numbers started becoming important. So I feel the fact that we were in MTV in the golden period of MTV, where nothing mattered apart from creativity.
It became part of the culture and the part of the lingo as well, actually, at that time.
Yes, yes. So then the shift happened to Yash Raj, and then we shot that film. First film was Love Ka the End. Then we shot another. Then I shot another film called Mere Dad Ki Maruti. Then I shot another film called Chor. So all these 3 back-to-back films happened with Yash Raj. So that's how the film journey started.
Film journey started. But Chor को release होने में थोड़ा time लग गया.
Yes, Chor really took a little bit of time in releasing. I think because at that time there were some censor issues with the film. Although later on the film was completely released with the same thing, with a US certificate. I think it was a random thing. I think I don't know why that happened, but yeah, the film came out, I think, almost 8-9 months late when it was planned to come out after that.
So you keep doing ad films as well in between? Yes,
I keep doing ads. I keep doing films. I do short films. So I shoot quite a lot. That's what I keep myself busy. I'm a workaholic, and I love this field. And I chose this field. So I keep telling people, this is not a field जिसमें आपके पापा ने बोला था कि इंजीनियर बन जाओ. हमारे खानदान में सब इंजीनियर बनते हैं. हमारे खानदान में सब डॉक्टर बनते हैं या पायलट बनते हैं. So it was a field that I chose. So it's a field of passion. So there's no excuse to not love your work and to not work. So I guess that was there always. So I never get tired. I've done shoots initially जो 42 hours तक चले हैं. मतलब literally 40 to 42 hours. The longest shoot in my life that I've done is 42 hours.
कौन सी फिल्म के लिए?
It was for show. It was for a promo.
अच्छा.
Promo. So we started shooting. And we ended up shooting this thing. There was a shoot in MTV that I did. We were shooting a music video, which had all the VJs, Run Vijay, Ayushman, and all the VJs of that point of time. All Galen, Anushka, Anusha Dandekar, and everybody was there. So Blase had composed that song. So that song started and we finished that in 42 hours. That song was a 42
So what happened on the shoot? मतलब कि ये बताया आपको पहले बताया होगा 8 घंटे shoot है, then it extended.
No. Basically we were dependent on किस वक्त कौन time दे रहा है.
अच्छा.
They were all MTV VJs, but they all had their commitments. Different. We started shooting. So there's a guy called Sajid. He's a friend of mine. He was the director. So he and I started shooting, and we finished the shoot in almost 42 hours. So मतलब हम बिल्कुल लेट गए थे उसके बाद. मतलब क्या हुआ? And there were setups. MTV was a small studio. एक तरफ हम set लगाते थे, इधर shoot करते थे, पीछे setup change होता था. We'll turn, I'll light it up, turn. Everything was
sound का problem नहीं होता था?
It was a lip sync song.
अच्छा lip sync. अच्छा song था. Sorry, song था.
तो मतलब there was no sound. So वो काफी इंटरेस्टिंग। उसके बाद भी काफी सारे शूट करे। इनफैक्ट लव का द एंड के अंदर जब हम शूट करे थे तो देयर वाज वन डे वेयर बम्पी एंड वी केप्ट शूटिंग फॉर ऑलमोस्ट 24 आवर्स। तो सब लोग लंबे लेट गए, क्योंकि यूजुअली फिल्म में ऐसा कम होता है।
कम होता है।
हम एमटीवी से आए थे हम तो,
क्योंकि फिल्म का शूट थोड़ा चिल होता है, मतलब कि आराम आराम से करो, पिक्चर शॉट्स अच्छे निकलने चाहिए।
हाँ मतलब फिल्म में इतना लंबा टाइम करना मुश्किल
नहीं,
होता है, मतलब
हाँ,
पीपल डोंट डू इट
अनटिल
यूजुअली।
अनलेस इमरजेंसी।
और अनटिल अनलेस यू आर डूइंग इंडी फिल्म, कि आपको पता है कि करना ही करना है।
हाँ,
तो
पैसे नहीं है।
वाई फिल्म लाइक एन इंडी फिल्म ऑफ आईआरएफ।
आई थिंक उन्होंने ये किया था कि 1 करोड़ के अंदर में फिल्में बनाएंगे, 1 करोड़ 2 करोड़ में ही फिल्म बनाएंगे, उससे ऊपर बजट
हाँ
नहीं जाना
मतलब
चाहिए, वैसा ही
दे
कुछ
हैड अ
किया था।
कैपिंग लिमिट ऑफ से 5
हाँ,
के उसके अंदर नहीं सब कुछ हो
उसी के
जाना चाहिए।
अंदर
तो
सब कुछ होना चाहिए।
बट आई थिंक द फैक्ट दैट एमटीवी का जो ट्रेडिंग था जस्ट टू वर्क फास्ट एंड ट्राई एंड क्रिएट समथिंग इन अ वेरी मिनिमम स्पेस, दैट रियली हेल्प्ड आई गेस।
अच्छा, ये किसमें शूट करी आपने, लव का द एंड?
Love Ka the end, I shot. So I was the first DOP in Bombay to shoot on a camera called Red One.
रेड वन, हाँ, उस टाइम आया था वो।
उस टाइम आया था. So basically, we used to proudly say, because Yash Raj was the official franchisee for Red cameras at that point of time. So they said कि ठीक है, अच्छा रेड कैमरा पे शूट करना है, हम उसकी फ्रेंचाइजी ले लेते हैं. So उनके पास
बड़े लोग हैं, खरीद ही लेते हैं। हाँ,
so they bought some 10-15 cameras, but
bought,
they bought those 10-15 cameras because they were parallelly doing something called the Red Studio with in collaboration with Sony, जिसमें वो काफी सारे shows वगैरह भी बना रहे थे. So Adi is a very creative person. He is very quality conscious. So when my first meeting with him is the fact that किस पे तू शूट करना चाहेगा? मैंने कहा ऑफ कोर्स फिल्म पे.
सपना वही होता है ना.
So कह रहा कि नहीं, but I want to shift towards digital. But he's a progressive person. He has a vision. So he said the fact that मुझे digital पे शूट करके दिखाओ कैसा लगता है. मैंने कहा to be honest, I will not lie, if it's shot well, nobody will be able to, a normal layman will not be able to guess what format is it shot on. तो इसे फिर मुझे टेस्ट करके दिखाओ. But don't do the test which is like जो अपना कलर चार्ट वगैरह लगे.
प्रॉपर शूट करके दिखाओ.
शूट करके दिखाओ. So we shot for 3 days, which was a proper shoot with sound. So Shraddha Kapoor was there, and Taha was there, and 2 more actors were there. So there were scenes written which were not a part of the film. We shot scenes exterior day, interior day, exterior night for 3 days. I graded it in 4 different labs, and they were printed. And Yash Raj is an in-house theater. It was seen in the theater. So that's how he was convinced that, yeah, it looks film. It looks film.
And were you convinced with the results?
I was, to be honest, at that point of time, I'd been following that camera for a very long from film school time, because there was somebody at that point of time. It was not a camera. They came in a box. So there was a box with a lens. So there was no branding, nothing. So they came and did a sort of a presentation to us. Yeah. So and they shot parallelly on film and digital, and in our film school theater they were showing those images. So that was so I was in touch with that technology, and it was the future, to be honest. So then I shot that film. Then after that film, Yash Raj completely shifted to digital. So everything from then on was digital.
But digital on Y films only, not his
Everything.
feature films. Okay, feature films were also shot on.
Yes.
So Jab Tak Hai Jaan was not shot on reel. Was shot on reel.
Jab Tak Hai Jaan probably was the last film.
Because of Yash Chopra, Yash ji, because he is an कि मेरे को ये तो चाहिए इसमें.
After that Y film का thing, digital camera became acceptable. So, like for example, Dhoom 3 was shot on Alexa. I think Arri also has to force themselves into a digital market because of Red. Because Red was conquering the entire market. Red came basically it came and just completely everybody would love it. Like the producers would love it. There's no film stock burning. Actors will love it. यार ठीक है, मतलब there's no pressure नहीं है कुछ भी.
ADs would love it. क्लैप देके बैठना नहीं है, आराम से जा सकते हो आप.
So it was and I personally feel, to be honest, because I've seen a changeover, as I told you, from fine arts, from hand to computer. I've seen that change. I've seen, and luckily I come from a generation where I've seen audio cassette to a pen drive to a cloud. So you've seen so many changeovers. So you should not fight technology.
You cannot actually.
You should not also.
Hmm.
There's no point fighting.
Hmm.
You need to figure out what is the best format for my film.
True.
And if you can fight for it. But more often than not, at least in India, I would say the fact that you lose that fight. Nobody will want to shoot on film. Like still, I try and still convince people. Because क्या होता है कि मतलब ठीक है, if a director also agree, if a producer also agrees कि ठीक है, film मैं बना दूंगा. Then the second question comes to the director and DOP, कितने can लगेंगे? How many cans you'll finish the film in?
True.
That's a big pressure. पहले ऐसा ही होता था, but now people have also gotten used to कि यार मैं क्यों ये added pressure लूं?
Added pressure ही है वो.
But it's a fantastic format.
It's a
physical format. Like you physically are printing something on a physical piece of film. So it's not 0, 1,
and the look
0,
and
1.
feel is completely different actually.
Yeah. So but now digital technology is completely a long way. So
एरी के न्यू कैमरा से मेरे ख्याल से वो डेप्थ मिल जाती है कुछ हद तक जो रील की है.
These are two different things. Like you can't compare. Like अगर आपको LP पे कोई गाना सुनना है तो उस पे ही मजा आएगा. So it's a call. It's a call. But this call requires a lot of I would say a lot of yes from a lot of people, not just the director and the DOP. So मतलब feasibility देखनी पड़ती है, बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं. तो I think it's a outdated conversation. I think you should make the film in whatever you feel like making, and you should do your best.
True. So which was the first digital camera you owned?
Like still digital camera. Since I was in fine arts, the first digital camera that I owned was a Canon. Yeah. And Canon EOS something 350.
350.
Yeah, if I remember right, 350 or 250 Canon. Because before that we used to till MCRC we used to shoot on F3s, film cameras. So I have luckily I come from a family just in photography thi. So I have TLRs, twin lens reflex cameras. I have that plate camera of my grandfather. I have all those old things also.
Wait for another 40 years and you can sell them in millions.
Yeah, I hope so. But I'll not sell them. I'm keeping them. So digital camera came much later. To be honest, digital camera came. Digital camera came actually in fine arts, but MCRC had not moved to digital. So basically, when I finished fine arts, till the final year, we were shooting our stuff on. We used to shoot earlier reversal film and negative film, black and white film. By the end of it, if I remember right, I think the digital camera had come.
I think everything was changed because of 2009 or 2008 when 5D was launched. 5D Mark II was launched because it was launched as a still photography camera, but it has great video features and people suddenly shifted
to it. Was a fluke video camera.
Fluke video camera. And I remember कि मेरा पहला फिल्म था उसमें 5D Mark II आ रहा था and I was disappointed. मैंने इतने बड़े कैमरे देखे तो मैं पहली फिल्म कर रहा हूँ उसमें इतना सा कैमरा लेके आ गया. I was like, ये कौन सी पिक्चर कर रहा हूँ मैं low budget की. But it actually diluted the market because my friends were also working in MTV and BTV and they said कि किस पे मैं पूछ रहा किस पे शूट कर रहे हो 5D. And some even shot on some MTV ads were even shot on 550D. तो मेरे पास 550D था तो I got a call from वो Tata Nano वाला एक शूट हो रहा था MTV का.
Yeah.
नैनो में ट्रैवल था पूरा ऑल ओवर इंडिया. सो लाइक 550D हाँ आ जाओ लेके. मैंने कहा 550D का फॉर्मेट जाएगा टीवी पे. कहता हाँ 550D 5D 7D and everything. So it was a huge change at that time. Like in 2008 after things started to change.
Yeah, actually what you're saying is absolutely right because I remember in 2008, precisely 2008, one of the first 5D shoots, video shoots, first 5D video shoots I did with a friend of mine called Shai. So she was shooting a promo for VH1. So MTV, VH1, Nickelodeon. They were one channel, like they were one umbrella.
VH1 and Nickelodeon.
Yeah, so Shai was working with VH1 and she wanted to shoot something and we shot that on 5D. That was the first, the initial shoots on 5D. So it came out fine. It came out fine.
So did you find it troubling to understand the camera? Because at that time, there were no YouTube tutorials to understand kya karo.
No. Luckily, I'll tell you, because of fine arts and because of MCRC, I had full-fledged subject photography. And plus, I come from a photography background. So when I was, to be honest, 8-year-old, I knew how to process. I processed my own films. मैं पापा का कैमरा लेके black and white click करके उसको process करता था. We had a lab. We had our own lab.
अच्छा, you have your lab in your own home.
Yeah, so basically we used to process it. Like I used to process it. So मेरे पापा का studio था proper run. So I used to process the thing. So I was very aware of this. And then MCRC, in MCRC we were shooting a film called Reversal Film. We were shooting on Reversal and we were processing the E6 process of the reversal. We were doing it ourselves. So the base was so strong of photography. Moving to digital, the only difference was there was no negative, there was a digital sensor. That was the only difference for me in terms of technology, in terms of what is the parameter, whatever is required for photography was all understood, and I knew everything in detail. So there was, to be honest, that's why to me there was no challenge to shift from film to digital, because in MTV I was, as I told you, the first ever red shoot in Bombay. That music video 42 hour long. That was the first shoot
on red.
Yeah, there was only one camera, and I remember the time that when we shot on that, at that point of time, that camera used to make one raw file and 4 proxy files of different.
four separate files. अरे उसका हार्ड डिस्क इतना पूरा भर देता था वो हार्ड डिस्क रेड कैमरा. RGB अलग फाइलें बनती थी.
Pixion के अंदर we were googling how to capture that image into the system to grade. So it was literally the first shoot on that camera.
It was actually very difficult because they had provided very limited information about it, and it was available on that camera ka forums jo the internet pe.
Yes.
And I remember
they were very secretive about it. So ऐसे करके digital, but
and then they also started their own graphic card, Red Rocket. If you don't use that, you cannot process the data. That was the biggest disadvantage. I think that's why
they wanted to make a monopoly of shots, which every company has the right to do, because they were the first one to come with it, to be honest.
But it was also owned by a megalomaniac billionaire, na. So it was like, यार मेरा company चलाऊंगा अपनी.
Yeah, मैं पहले चश्मे बनाता था, मैं
अब ये कैमरा बनाता हूँ. पर बर्बाद हो गई कंपनी, मतलब उस तरह से देखा जाए तो भी.
Yeah, but now to be honest, like I've shot on Red, I've shot on Alexa, I've shot on Sony and many other formats. Honestly speaking, right now I've reached a point where the format doesn't make a difference to me.
It's a composition actually.
Yeah, if I'm telling my story the right way, the way I want to tell, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
True. Acha, so you haven't got the chance to shoot on 35mm, did you?
No, I shot a lot on 35mm.
Ad films or something.
Ad films, like even in MTV. So क्या होता था कि MTV के अंदर कि ये जो हम ad shoot कर रहे हैं, ये इसके अंदर जो है ना लाख रुपए ज्यादा हैं, 35 पे शूट करेंगे. But challenge ये होता था कि one can of 16mm मिलेगी अगर फॉर एग्जांपल 16mm शूट कर रहे हैं. You know the fact that उसमें 11 मिनट ही आने वाले हैं. वही है. ना उसके आगे कुछ है, ना उसके पीछे कुछ है. So you have to 35mm का कैन उसका डबल पैसे का होता था. वो भी
4 मिनट. 4 मिनट. 4.5 मिनट.
हम 3 पफ पे शूट करते थे तो 5.25 मिनट मिल जाता था. वो पफ के
अच्छे लोग तरीके हैं पैसे बचाने के.
तो 3 पफ पे शूट करते थे. उस टाइम 3 पफ नया आया था, सुपर 35 3 पफ कैमरास. तो उस पे हम शूट करते थे. You won't believe that people in MTV and us, we together have shot 40 seconders in one can of 35mm.
In just one can?
In one can. I'm not kidding.
So you would wait for an entire day for the actors to rehearse and everything.
Rehearsal.
And then you take the final shot. Acha, final take.
Matlab, it was, but that training was really, really, really good. But उससे ज़्यादा कि, to be honest, औकात ही नहीं थी. नहीं मिल सकता था. So
but actually that was good actually. अभी digital में क्या है, people are very careless about things. अरे गलत हो गया तो कोई बात नहीं, फिर से ले लेंगे. At that time it was, you have to be perfect. Lighting has to be perfect, the acting has to be perfect, the frame composition has to be perfect. You have to double check everything कि सब सही है कि नहीं है. And then you go ahead and take the shot. Okay, एक shot गलत हुआ, उसके बाद आप producer चिल्लाना.
Like I'll tell you one story. Like Roadies 5 का जो winner था आशुतोष, उसका promo भी मैंने शूट किया था. अच्छा. तो the director Albin Jason, a friend of mine, one can we got 16mm का एक can मिला. इतने थे कि एक steady cam आ सकता था. So Nitin Rao is a very close friend of mine. So we called Nitin
Rao, the Guinness Book holder.
Yeah. And very, very close. So my first steady cam shoot in Bombay was with him. So Nitin Rao को बुलाया गया. Nitin and I met. I was at that time 26, 27. Very मतलब. So वो कैमरा एक कैन था, and we were shooting high speed.
High speed.
कि उसमें आशुतोष will start from a makeup room and walk into
एक
the
तो
alley.
एक कैन दिया, उस पे भी मेरे को हाई स्पीड चाहिए.
And MTV की इंटरनल लाइट्स होती तो इंटरनल हमने सेटअप बनाया कि इसी ऑफिस के अंदर ही शूट करना है. That we shot in precisely one can and high speed. तो ये इतना रिस्ट्रिक्शन होता था. तो इमेजिन करेगा अगर आप हाई स्पीड पे शूट कर रहे हैं तो आई थिंक वी शॉट
5.5 का तो वो तो आपका 11 मिनट का क्या 6
11 का 5.5
सीधे 5.5 कर लो.
इमेजिन हाई स्पीड में चलते जा रहा है. मुंबई आया था ये पकड़ने के लिए, इन टर्न्स अराउंड और ही टेल्स हिज स्टोरी. सो वो वीओ में चल रही थी. So that was like these kind of challenging things happened in MTV, and same thing happened with 35mm. So I shot quite a lot on 35mm. And then you start shooting when I got out of the market. I shot a lot of ads. So ads में तो इतना गुर्बत नहीं होती थी. Even in promos also for that matter. Like if
अरे वहाँ तो काजू किशमिश सब मिलता है.
Star Network से हाँ तो पूरा वो
क्लाइंट ही होता है, वहाँ तो क्लाइंट ही होता है, आगे बैठा होता है. तो
वो बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि ये हम प्रोमो शूट करेंगे, ये हम एड शूट करेंगे 12 कैन में.
वाह
12 कैन. अय्याशी है
तो एड शूट्स में ना कई बार वो लोग एजेंसी को दिखाने के लिए भी करते हैं, जबरदस्ती 10 टेक लेते. मैंने देखा है, मैं कहा तो ओके था, इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम है, पर वो 10 टेक लेंगे जस्ट टू शो देम दैट वी आर स्पेंडिंग सम मनी देयर एक्चुअली.
Probably because there's so much of money riding on those frames. So in fact I was giving one interview once, so somebody asked me a very precise question saying the fact that you shoot a lot of ads, you shoot a lot of promos, you shoot a lot of you've shot films also. What is the one difference that you'll say between a film and an ad film or a promo? So I told him the fact that if when you shoot an ad, you're shooting frames. So every frame matters. You're working in frames because they're seconds. When you're shooting film, you're shooting in scenes. True. So that's the biggest difference. I feel that you have to think in scenes. You know what I'm trying to say in this scene. And in an ad film or in a short form or a promo, you're saying things in frames. Not that you're not doing that in scenes, but you have a scene to convey that message. So
you have very less time to convey the entire message.
Yes. So probably because of that, they are so careful that they are taking multiple takes, that they want every single nuance के मतलब सब हो जाए कि मतलब ऐसा ना हो यार ये ना की तरह हो जाता तो मजा आ जाता.
सब लेके रखो, ऑप्शन लेके रखो. So coming to खाली पीली, ये कैसे हुआ, कैसा एक्सपीरियंस रहा उसमें?
खाली पीली का एक्सपीरियंस बहुत अच्छा रहा. तो खाली पीली का जो टू बी ऑनेस्ट I was about to start, almost thought about doing a film.
अच्छा, direction.
No, shoot a film. So I got a call from Ali. So Ali and I know each other from almost
Ali Abbas Zafar.
Ali Abbas Zafar, 12 years. So we know each other. Like we were both parallelly in Yashtaj. So he was shooting. I was shooting 3 films back to back, and he was shooting. If I remember right, मेरे brother की दुल्हन and and Love Ka Dien, they were getting shot almost at the same time. Almost at the same time. Then he shot Gunde, and at that point in time, मेरे dad की Maruti was happening. And then
I worked in मेरे brother की दुल्हन का title song as an assistant director.
As an assistant director.
Beginning of my career.
Anyway, so we know each other really well. Ali and I know each other and बहुत दिनों से जानते थे, but कभी मौका नहीं लगा. So basically I got a call from him saying the fact that I am making a film and I'm producing. This is my debut production film, and I would want you to do it. Just would you want to hear the narration of the film? I said, why not?
This is because, this is मेरे brother की दुल्हन you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about Khaali Peeli.
अच्छा, Khaali Peeli.
So Khaali Peeli, Ali started his production company.
अच्छा, production company. Oh,
yes. So he started as a producer.
Okay.
So it's his first production as a producer.
अच्छा.
I said, of course, yaar. And we have a great relation. Like we know each other. I really like him. So he's a really, really
cool guy.
He's a very chilled out, very, very nice person. And like, matlab, he gives you all the freedom that you want and everything. So, and I shot ads with him also. So I shot ads with Ali. So he shot a series of ads of this one, with Akshay Kumar, those Policy Bazaar ads. So I shot those with him. So that's how this film happened. And I heard I didn't know the director, to be honest, at that point of time. Director is Makbul Khan, super cool guy. And Ali's partner, Himanshu. I didn't know Himanshu and Mac before. And when I met these guys, they are, the same kind of energy, the same kind of, like when you meet a team which is in the same zone that you are, it's just fantastic. So Mac gave me the narration and I fell in love with his narration. I've heard a lot of narrations of film, but he is one of the best narrators I've seen. Like the way he tells a story. तुम सिर्फ उसके बैठ के कहानी सुनो यार, क्या
लिख लेता हूँ मैं, उसका इंटरव्यू लेना है, नरेशन के बारे में पूछूंगा भाई, नरेशन कैसे देते हैं यार.
Matlab, I remember when the first time he was giving the narration, and I was like, dude. And so I'll tell you the story about it. I was meeting Mac for the first time. So Ali को तो मैं जानता हूँ. Makbul will give you a call and he will fix up a narration. ठीक है. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है. And Ali, if I remember, Ali was not in town at that point. He was in Dehradun. उसका hometown is Dehradun Ali का. So I got a call from Mac and I met him and I see this guy, a full bodybuilder with a hat, like full. He comes in, long hair. Hi, I'm Makbul. Hi. He came with a laptop. He sat and started narrating the film. And started beautifully started narrating the film. And we reached till almost the interval point. And I'm thinking in my head, I want to see when he opens the laptop. Because usually in narration, what happens, people open the laptop. You won't believe Shitiz. He narrated till interval. He took a smoke break. And then he came back and finished the film. And I said, dude, he remembered the film by heart. With not just basic story, with explanation. वो ऐसे कूदेगा, दीवार पे लिखा हुआ, मतलब proper detailing के साथ. I said, yeah, this is my kind of. I love to collaborate with people.
Actually, there was a controversy behind Khaali Peeli, and film didn't work out the way. People most of the time when criticize a film, they don't know what kind of hard work that people actually do behind making a film. It is very easy to criticize just a film just like that.
Correct,
won't see the film, or I won't do this thing. But it's a huge amount of passion that involves.
Yeah.
वो बंदे ने कितनी बार screen पे पढ़ा होगा to remember something like that and to narrate it in one go.
Exactly. So I had a great experience, a ball doing that film. And we really enjoyed it. And luckily we had a cast which was outstanding. Like both Ishan and Ananya, they were outstanding. When you're shooting a film, of that kind where we shot the entire film in real locations. 90% of the film is real locations. We are shooting at night. We are showing Bombay of 1995. The film starts in, that's the kind of Bombay we are showing. We have a restriction of shooting only after 12 o'clock because otherwise the traffic में आपको सब नई गाड़ियां दिखेगी. So the window to shoot the night scene is from 12:31 till 5 o'clock, because after 5 o'clock joggers will start coming in. The film is of a taxi driver. So it was a challenging film. And
और night shoot तो anyways पूरी film night में. Night shoot is terrible.
80-90% of the film is night.
Human cycle change हो जाता है एक महीने बाद.
Yeah. So honestly speaking, हमारे actors इतने supportive थे और इतने अच्छे थे कि because कोई भी उस situation में cranky हो सकता है. कोई भी because you're tired, because your sleep cycle is completely reversed. But they really made it easy for us, and I was, and plus what, what happened with Mac and me, it's like हम दोनों एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू. तो we just clicked like no one's business. I love working with him, and I'm sure he also loves working with me. हमारा जो team बना वो बहुत ही outstanding बना. तो उसमें I really enjoyed it. I have thoroughly enjoyed working with him.
हाँ, क्योंकि ऐसी कंडीशन में अगर डायरेक्टर सपोर्टिव मिल जाए तो रात में शूट करते टाइम आप भी क्रैंकी हो सकते हो, डीओपी भी क्रैंकी हो सकता है, because lots of gaps in between the shoot.
And another thing I'll tell you about Mac, throughout the film, he never sat on the monitor on a chair. He was always right next to me.
अच्छा.
He likes to see things with his eyes, not on the monitor.
ये मुझे कबीर लाल जी बता रहे थे, अभी मैं उनका इंटरव्यू लिया था, डीओपी कबीर
Yeah,
लाल जी, तो वो बता रहे थे कि सुभाष घई नेवर सिट्स ऑन मॉनिटर, ही जस्ट सिट्स स्टैंड्स नेक्स्ट टू अ डीओपी, इज द सेम थिंग. द ग्रेट डायरेक्टर्स, आई थिंक दैट्स अ trait of a great director. Now I'm noticing it, it's a pattern that good
correct.
directors
So
actually
in
don't
fact,
just sit on
मतलब
monitors.
मैंने कहा Mac, यार, I will get you. So
तो
he
बैठ रहा
does
था
not.
इधर. हाँ.
No, he does not. That's what I love about him. He
हाँ.
is so energetic. He's jumping, running across. He's
हाँ.
very fit.
हाँ.
He's very, very fit.
हम्म.
So matlab he's jumping, running, doing all those things.
हम्म.
So because the energy, I feel the fact that the energy in a film
हम्म.
comes top to bottom.
Top to
It
bottom.
never
True.
is the other
True.
way around.
हम्म.
So if your director is so passionate, so you have
हम्म.
producers who are passionate,
हम्म.
young producers, like
हम्म.
we can be called young, yeah.
हाँ.
Dynamic producers, both
हम्म.
HM, Himanshu and
हम्म.
Ali. You have dynamic producers, you have a
हम्म.
dynamic director.
हम्म.
So मतलब ये team, ये dream team बन जाती है. Because you have
हम्म.
actors who are willing to give everything to film. We had Jaideep, we had
हम्म.
Swanand Kirkire, we
हम्म.
had Ananya, we had Ishan, we
हम्म.
had two little kids, amazing actors.
हम्म.
We had, uh, honestly speaking, every single person in that film has given their best. Like they have really, really helped in
हम्म.
every possible way.
हम्म.
Anoop Soni we have in the
हाँ.
film. So everybody has done their
वेटरन
bit.
एक्टर,
And
हाँ, वो तो बहुत पुराने एक्टर हैं,
yeah,
काफी
so
काम किया उन्होंने.
all these guys are seasoned actors. They're like Jaideep, you see his acting, like the way
जयदीप इज ऑसम, मतलब
yeah.
his voice,
Anoop,
his
Jaideep,
personality. हाँ.
Swanand, matlab these guys, and Ishan, Ananya, they all are like Ananya trained for the dialect of
हम्म.
that the red light area of Bombay.
हम्म.
She learned that dialect, and Ishan,
हम्म.
the way he spoke in the film, you see
हम्म.
that Bombay accent. He put on so much of weight. He bulked up for so much for the film.
हम्म.
He's a young boy. He was
हाँ.
lean, so he
हम्म.
bulked, like he made his muscles for that film.
हम्म.
So a lot of hard work had gone in that film. Durga has done the production design.
हाँ.
So some amazing stuff. The editor
हम्म.
has edited a lot of films of Ali,
हम्म.
and this film also.
हम्म.
So lot of people have, Vishal Shekhar has done the music.
हम्म.
So और बहुत ही choreography के अंदर they were amazing
हम्म.
choreographers. So there was
हम्म.
Caesar ने एक गाना करा है,
हम्म.
and Rajit ने एक गाना करा है.
It was a
So
great experience.
it was a great experience, right? It's a memorable experience. So,
हम्म.
and honestly speaking, if what I feel the fact that in a film, I feel the fact that if you look back and you enjoy those memories and
हम्म.
cherish those memories, that's what you're in this field for. Nothing else matters. Nothing
True.
else matters. Yeah.
I also think personally that this entire nepotism debate is baseless, because I have seen star kids working on sets and they are more hardworking and more polite and humble than other people
I'm
actually.
telling you, I've shot with people like Ananya
Hmm.
has worked so hard for this film. I can't
Hmm.
even tell you. I can't. And honestly speaking, see, I'll tell you what. In this thing, no,
Hmm.
the debate, I feel the fact that because of that, you can get one chance.
Hmm.
After
Of
that,
course, true.
you have to prove your mettle.
हाँ.
That's it.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Matlab, it's just I don't know
No,
how to go
I've
about
seen,
it.
I've been on set of Tiger Shroff and Ranbir Kapoor, and I've seen them working, and they're very polite to the directors. Even Amitabh Bachchan surviving, because if you are 30-year-old director, Amitabh will refer to you as sir. He won't call you by your first name.
I've shot with him. He's
Hmm.
just outstanding.
Hmm.
He is just out. So I was shooting. I was shooting for KBC.
Hmm.
We were shooting a promo for KBC, and Bachchan Saab was there.
Hmm.
We had a lot of stuff to shoot,
Hmm.
and he is a powerhouse.
Hmm.
So he did not take any break apart from the lunch break of 45
हाँ.
minutes.
Hmm.
उनकी वैनिटी बाहर थी. उन्होंने कहा नहीं, मुझे यहाँ पे टेंट लगवा के तो मैं यहीं चेंज करके यहीं से वापस आ जाऊंगा.
हाँ.
So
हाँ.
there was a corner में एक tent. He didn't go to the vanity.
हाँ.
So I feel the fact
He's
that
very time conscious, and what can I say about him? मतलब मैंने उनको काम करते देखा. 9 बजे एग्जैक्टली घुसेंगे डबिंग के लिए, केबीसी के डबिंग था. 12 बजे एग्जैक्टली निकल जाएंगे, जूता भी नहीं पहनेंगे, जूता हाथ में लेके गाड़ी के अंदर घुस जाएंगे, then you move on to something, someplace else.
like you look at him and you see the fact that there's so much to learn. There's
हाँ,
so much
so
to
much
learn.
to learn, so much to learn. लंच में लोग बैठे अपना गप्पे मार रहे हैं, and he's with his script just reading the dialogues
Script.
and everything. हाँ,
Yes.
very
Yes.
very professional. And you have to now, we have to talk about our favorite topic right now, and that is Shah Rukh Khan. Your first meet with Shah Rukh Khan
Yeah.
and your experience with him. Share some memories
So
and your
basically,
experience.
basically, uh, like I told you, I used to draw portraits. So शाहरुख खान के मैंने सबसे ज्यादा portraits बनाए हैं.
हाँ.
मतलब probably they are somewhere I'll probably
फेवरेट फिल्म
when
ऑफ
we'll
शाहरुख खान?
of my favorite film. एक नहीं है यार. मतलब favorite films हैं.
हाँ.
Like I love कभी हाँ कभी ना.
हाँ.
I love दिल से.
दिल से. ओ.
I love DDLJ.
हम्म.
वो तो मैंने अपने फिल्म स्कूल में जाके बोला फेवरेट फिल्म DDLJ. दिल वाले दिल
वो तो मैं अभी भी देख सकता हूँ.
And by the way, मैंने DDLJ ना, I've seen the film almost 16-17 times in a theater. हम
अच्छा, इतना बड़ा नहीं था मैं. मतलब
हम
ये तो
स्कूल बंक करके जाया करते थे.
हाँ.
मैं और मेरे एक दोस्त, और
हाँ.
जाके हम रुड़की के अंदर थिएटर में देखा करते थे.
अच्छा.
Yeah, so it was that. So
Karan Arjun also released in 1995 only, and that was also like I was crazy more about Karan Arjun because मैं भी थोड़ा वो था ना मिथुन गोविंदा वाला, लड़ाई झड़ाई चाहिए, थोड़ा सा मारपीट चाहिए.
So I was a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan. So when I came to Bombay, I joined MTV. So MTV में उस वक्त में एक चीज हुआ करती थी जिसका नाम था बिग पिक्चर. तो MTV बिग पिक्चर तो साइरस इंटरव्यू वगैरह करता था. तो उस टाइम एक फिल्म आने वाली थी जिसका नाम था ओम शांति ओम. फराह खान की फिल्म थी. तो MTV बिग पिक्चर शूट कर रहे थे. आई वाज द DOP ऑफ दैट शो. एंड तो हम MTV बिग पिक्चर शूट कर रहे थे. MTV बिग पिक्चर के पहले वो 5 कैमरा सेटअप था. उसके बाद एक प्रोमो शूट करना था. प्रोमो के अंदर जो है सोफिया वाज डायरेक्टिंग.
सोफी चौधरी.
सोफिया सुबुही.
अच्छा.
She was directing she was a promo.
अच्छा.
She was in promo. So she was directing the thing. And we were watching Shah Rukh Khan को. तो हमने promo के 2
अच्छा,
सेट लगे थे.
शाहरुख आया था उस दिन.
Yes. तो after the MTV big picture तो साइरस को बोला गया कि भाई एक काम करना, बिग पिक्चर तो जल्दी रैप अप करना क्योंकि we need minimum an hour of his time for the promos. अब लेकिन साइरस और शाहरुख both witty people वो खींचा चला गया. हमारे पास टाइम नहीं बचा. शाहरुख comes to the thing. Oh, अच्छा ये भी करना है. तो हम सब लोग ये भी करना है. You won't believe it was almost a script of a little more than half a page. He read it once. We were shooting on 16 mm. He read it once and just gave it tuck, boom, done. So Sophie, I'll give you a variation also. Gave another variation.
अरे बाप रे. हाँ, ये कमाल आदमी.
Went to another set, did that in precisely, you won't believe, 15-20 minutes. I think there were 3 promos or 2 promos if I remember right. He finished all. And he was just fantastic. So मेरा जो ना इश्क और बढ़ गया.
Actually, शाहरुख is the only celebrity in Mumbai I've met जिससे मिलने के बाद ना मेरा वो चार्म कम नहीं हुआ, बढ़ गया. क्योंकि मैंने भी जब शूट किया था तो पुनीत मल्होत्रा का शूट था जियो रिलायंस का, एंड शाहरुख 5-6 घंटे लेट आया था. बट वहां पे 16 कट्स थे, 16 सेपरेट वो थे, प्लेसेस थी. 1 घंटे के अंदर खत्म. और शाहरुख से पुनीत मल्होत्रा ने कहा सर ओके शॉट है. नहीं रुक जा ना पुनीत, मैं ये भी दे देता हूँ, मैं ये भी दे देता हूँ. ऐसा कौन करता है एक्टर? ऋतिक आप किसी से बोलो ये ओके सर, okay, ठीक है, I'm in my vanity, let me know when the next shot comes. Shahrukh is on different level.
Another thing about Shah Rukh Khan, I noticed the fact that he never looks at the monitor. Never looks at the monitor. After that I shot with him a lot. Matlab I was very very happy to shoot with him because he's another person you can just learn so much from him.
That's why I'm big fan.
So basically जो मेरे स्कूल के फ्रेंड्स थे जिस टाइम पे मेरा कुछ लेना देना मिलता था इस इंडस्ट्री से, उनको पता था मैं शाहरुख खान का कितना बड़ा फैन हूं कि मैं पोर्ट्रेट्स बनाता हूं शाहरुख खान के. So जब उनको पता लगा कि आई शॉट विद शाहरुख खान, so they asked me the fact that के are you still a fan of him कि मतलब तुमने इनके साथ शूट भी कर लिया. मैं now I am a bigger fan because they like his energy, the way he conducts himself on a set is just outstanding. I had amazing experience shooting with him. I've shot with him quite a lot. It's just and I would love to shoot a film with him. It's one of those dreams ke I want to shoot a film with Shah Rukh Khan. And probably when we meet later on if
we are actually 90s kids ना. We are 90s kids. हमारा बचपन उस आदमी को देखते हुए निकला. मोहब्बत का नारायण शंकर और कभी खुशी कभी गम में स्लो मोशन शॉट्स की एंट्री, वो नहीं जाएगा दिमाग से. मतलब मैं अभी भी शाहरुख खान को डिफेंड करता रहा रईस तक. उसके बाद मैंने कभी अब डिफेंड नहीं कर सकता बिकॉज नाउ ही इज रिपीटिंग हिमसेल्फ. बट 90s का शाहरुख खान दैट इज स्टिल माय फेवरेट. और जो वर्क एथिक्स है उस बंदे के, वो इधर सिगरेट पी रहा है, उधर कॉफी ले रहा है, फिर सिगरेट पी रहा है, फिर कॉफी पी रहा है, दैट इज जस्ट डिफरेंट एक्चुअली. मतलब वो बंदा रियल लाइफ में भी उतना ही चार्मिंग है जितना एक्चुअली स्क्रीन पे दिखता है. दैट्स द बेस्ट पार्ट अबाउट हिम.
ही इज वेरी चार्मिंग एंड ही इज वेरी he had a lot of respect for technicalities of filmmaking.
True. ये
So
बहुत.
basically,
He never also he never interferes actually too much. You tell him to do something, he will do it.
yes. So basically, yeah, he has so much of respect for the technicalities of filmmaking, because you are such a big star. Matlab, you have the biggest fan following in the world, and still you are paying so much of attention for everyone else's job. आपके लिए सब कुछ हो रहा है वो, but you're still so aware कि यार, you know, all this is happening. Like I've been in shoots with Shah Rukh Khan where he himself is given focus. मैंने कहा सर आप मतलब please, no, it's okay. तो मतलब
अच्छा ये भी हुआ है.
You just fall in love with him.
ये एक्सपीरियंस बताओ आप मेरे को. हाँ, डिटेल में थोड़ा.
So basically there was a shoot that I was doing with Shah Rukh Khan. So there was some campaign for Star Networks. I think they were coming up with the Kasauti Zindagi Ki Coach. So he was playing the Sutradhar. So we were shooting the promos for that. So
that was
SRK
in
came
2007 2008 time. वैसा कुछ.
No. Recently. That must be 3 years back. 3.5 years back. So SRK was there. So there was a train station. So हम कमाल में shoot करते थे. हमने पूरा उसको setup कर रखा था. So we were shooting 2 camera setup. So one was on a wide, one was on a tight. So SRK came. So I told my AC ke focus mark de do. I'll give. मैंने कहा sir. I'll give. So he gave all the focus mark. So then there was a shot that he needed to walk and come and sit. So I was just framing it. So then he said the fact that मैंने कहा sir, there's a wide camera, there's a closer camera, and आप यहाँ से चल के आएंगे, आप यहाँ से बैठेंगे. अच्छा. What is the lens on the close camera? He's also ex-MCRC. He's also studied in Jamia.
ये तो जामिया में उन्होंने वो किया था ना, जर्नलिज्म.
No, he did MCRC only.
Achha.
It was not a journalism course. It was MCRC, Mass Communication Research Center. I don't think he finished the degree, but he studied there for a year or two.
में he tells कि मैं जर्नलिज्म कोर्स कर रहा था जामिया मिलिया से. I didn't complete it. हाँ, ऐसा कुछ बताया था.
So he didn't complete it. So he asked me the lens कि क्या lens है, and he said, sir, it's a tighter lens, and आप तो मैंने कहा आप मुझे एक बार speed दिखा दीजिए. How much speed you like? How will you sit? And I'll just adjust. Don't worry, I'll adjust according to your camera. It's such a sweet thing to say. You don't need to adjust for me, I'll adjust for your camera. He is just fantastic. There's so many instances. जैसे एक बार मैं कुछ shoot कर रहा था उसके साथ, so there was an ad which was in collaboration with the film जो उनकी आई थी चेन्नई एक्सप्रेस. So उसमें basically क्या था, हमने setup करा कि round table पे आएंगे, शाहरुख खान जो है बाइक घुमाएंगे, रोकेंगे और into the camera they will say something. So then one production person came and said that शाहरुख सर and रोहित सर DOP से मिलना चाहते हैं. मैंने कहा अच्छा. So I was called in the van. So with the director of course. So we went inside. So and Rohit Shetty is such a sweetheart. The way he speaks. So very like soft spoken. So Adil, I want to change a little bit of things in the promo, if you don't mind. If you guys don't mind. हमारे से ऐसे पूछ रहे हैं.
वो बोलेंगे तो कर ही देंगे.
So basically Shah Rukh is circling and stopping and saying these lines. And what I would want to make a ramp, and I will rig his bike. He'll come, jump across, stand, circle the bike, and then see the line. I said okay. So हमने pre-lighting कर रखी थी एक दिन पहले. I said sure, we can do it. But we are not lit for that. We are pre-lit for another situation. So where he's in one place. No, you take your time. And by the way, so we are just coming. So मैं जब आया, I said okay fine. Then I was like, you have to figure out the lights मंगानी है, क्या करना है. And it's Shah Rukh Khan's and Rohit Shetty's time. Although Rohit Shetty was not in the frame, but he was there.
और भले ही उन्होंने टाइम दे दिया, पर आपकी तरफ से होता है कि नहीं, इनका टाइम नहीं लेना ज्यादा.
So खैर वो सब चेंज ओवर हुआ, लाइट्स फाइट्स आई, and he came a little early. So he was standing there inside and he was like मैं पहले वो पढ़ लेता हूँ. So मैंने कहा SRK, sir, I'm going to take a little bit of time. Why don't you sit? Don't worry, I'm standing for your lighting. Dude, what's going on? So
it's just genius.
A superstar is standing in for your lighting. So then, of course, I lit the set and all everything. That shoot went off well. So these are some lovely memories. And every time, as I said, every time I shot with him, I I I became a bigger fan.
True.
I became a bigger fan.
No, actually, he is a great personality. Okay, we are going to do a film with him. Okay? It's on record now. Clearly, I have taken so much of your time, Adil, and I actually love talking to you. I don't want to stop, but I will come to Mumbai, and we are going to sit somewhere in the cafe house or some beer house, and we'll have some drinks and we'll discuss this conversation. We'll continue this conversation there in Mumbai.
Absolutely.
But I really love, because you told so many things about the industry and you were really, really cool about it. And I thoroughly loved the conversation. I'm actually surprised I've never talked to you like this. हम लोग की शायद मैसेज पे बात हुई या फोन पे कल परसों शायद बात हुई थी बहुत ज्यादा. I didn't know you were such a cool person. मतलब मुझे तो मजा आ गया आपसे बात करके. ठीक है. And then we share this common love for Shah Rukh Khan ना. तो वो जेल कर गया actually. Thank you for coming to my channel, Adil.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for having me.
Good night.
Bye bye.